And we have Site Centers Corp, SITC. They are currently at $15.46 a share. Yahoo analysts estimate they can move up to $23.75 in the next 12 months. If they do, that'll be a 53.62% increase. Hey guys, this is this week's stock winners for the week ending December 19th, 2024. We're checking at the stocks on our watch list. But before we do that, I'd like to cover what's happening in the S&P 500, the Dow, and the Nasdaq, because those three sort of speak to what's happening in the entire market. And we see that last week in the Dow, it was actually a negative week. It gave up some gains. And also the week prior, slightly it gave up some gains. But more so this last week. Now, when we come to the Dow, it was 3 negative weeks in a row. And when we come to the Nasdaq, we see that last week was a negative week as well. So we want to see what happens going into this next week. But having said that, let's take a look at the stocks on our watch list. But before we jump into that, I want us to take a look at the app which presents us with all of these opportunities. And that app is the StockSage app. Now, what the StockSage app does is it goes through the entire stock market every day. It pulls up all the stocks which are at their current annual low price, their lowest price of the year. And of those, it finds the fundamentally sound stocks that are down there. So those are stocks with positive earnings at least 3 of the last 5 years or all 5 years, and other things which identifies a fundamentally sound stock, such as stock buybacks for the last 3 years, 4 years, or all 5 years, stocks that have total assets above liabilities and current assets above liabilities, meaning a strong balance sheet, stocks which have greater than 10% profit margin for the last 5 years, which is a little rare when it comes to stocks on the stock market, or even above 20%, which is much more rare, and stocks with dividend yields of above 4%, above 10%, or even above 20%. So if I was to say, show me stocks with dividend yields above 20%, and I looked at the list today, I would see 6 stocks. Now, this is not a normal thing. You have a lot of stocks that are at their low prices in the stock market right now. So there may be some times where you look and you don't see any. There may be other times where you look and you see a few, like today. But the app identifies all those things for you. So all of the stocks on our watch list now were found through the app. Having said that, let's go back to our watch list and see what stocks we have. And we start with Greystone Housing Impact Investors. Now, this stock is currently at $10.89 a share. And Yahoo analysts estimate that it could go up to $16.75 in the next 12 months. If it does, that'll be a 53.81% increase. This stock has an earnings date dropping on February 20th or later that week. And remember, an earnings date is sort of like a report card, but for businesses. It can come out good and the stock price can dramatically jump, or come out bad and the stock price can dramatically drop. In any event, this stock has a dividend yield of 13.59%. And notice it's been dropping. We want to look to see if it starts to move back up at this point. At a week that was negative on the SPY, Dow, and NASDAQ, this one was slightly positive. Let's see what it does going into next week. Next, we have Dexcom. Now, Dexcom is actually about to be removed from our watch list. It's currently at $80.04 a share. Yahoo analysts estimate it can move up to $96.26. If it does, that will be a 20.26% increase. They have an earnings report dropping on February 6th or later that week. Next, we have Retractable Technologies. This is a low price stock. It's currently at 64 cents a share, but we don't really have further data to share on this one. We have Akamai Technologies, another stock that's about to be removed from our watch list. They have an earnings date dropping on February 11th or later that week. Currently at $95.89 a share. Yahoo analysts estimate they can move up to $113.13 in the next 12 months. If they do, that'll be a 17.97% increase. We have Afia Limited, and they have an earnings report dropping on March 12th or later that week. They're currently at $15.50. Yahoo analysts estimate they can move up to $19.86 in the next 12 months. If they do, that'll be a 28.12% increase. Now, they've been negative for the last 4 weeks. They were negative this week as well. But you see the long tail at the bottom? They actually moved all the way down and then moved back up by the end of the week to almost cover the ground. We want to see if they start to move up this next week. And we have Site Centers Corp, SITC. They are currently at $15.46 a share. Yahoo analysts estimate they can move up to $23.75 in the next 12 months. If they do, that'll be a 53.62% increase. And notice they have an earnings date dropping on February 11th or later that week, 25. And this stock has a 13.45% dividend yield. So that is it for our stocks for this week that have the potential to move up. Um, if you want to see further details on those stocks as to how fundamentally sound they are, you can go and subscribe to the StockSage app, and it will show you the full information about them. In any event, I look forward to speaking to you in the next video. Have a great night.